Hey guys, just want to come in here real quick before the reading starts. For some reason, my photo booth app on my Mac didn't record. Well, I stopped the recording, but the file got messed up somehow, and I'm not able to use it. So you're just gonna see the document camera, and so it's not going to be very visually appealing. Yes, you can see the cards, but yeah, the focus on this camera sometimes isn't very good. When I can afford it, I'm going to get another camera that's better, but in the meantime, um, so if you have some dishes to do or whatever, this is a really good video to be able to listen to while you're doing your stuff. I'm so sorry, but I really did have to get this video out regardless because of the information in it. So, yeah, sorry about that. Without further ado, enjoy the reading. Hey guys, welcome back to the Way of Truth Tarot. My name is Mandy, for those of you who are just joining, and for those of you who are returning. So happy that you're here yet again. Your support and your commitment means everything. This is going to be the final video in the Sebastian Rogers series. That being said, if anybody has questions, I would absolutely be willing to do a follow-up video where I answer all of your questions with the tarot pertaining to the case. But as far as me looking into what happened, this is going to be the final video of that, where Sebastian's going to be telling us from his point of view. I'll do my best not to be chatty this time. And yeah, going to be using a few decks. I've been called to use a few decks I don't normally use for this kind of thing, but hey, I'm just being shown. So, what's the T Oracle? Whispers of the Unsolved True Crime Oracle. The Afterlife Outbox. Tarot. Missing Variables. Places deck. This is an oracle. Tokens. And Sacred Woundings 2 archetypes. Actually, I'm also going to use Sacred Woundings as well. And I'm going to be pulling one of each together. Okay. So lots of tools. Feel like he's got a lot to say. Okay. Everything said in this video is alleged, in my opinion, based on the energy and the cards, not facts. Okay. I'm just giving a second to connect. Okay, Sebastian, this is your chance to have the floor. Let's going to use the What's the Tea deck first. Show everybody that you're here. Show everybody that you're here. So I got uninterested, but in reverse. He's very interested. He's here for it. Into you. He's into this. Great vibes, positive, good chemistry. Okay, we're connected. Okay, thanks, sweetheart. He's feeling good. He likes my vibe. So let's chat. What do you want me to use first? Still use What's the Tea? But Tarot 2. Okay. He wants me to pull a card, one of each. Okay. Okay, Sebastian, what tarot card? King of Swords. Discipline. Okay, let's pull one of these. An offer? But it was on its side. So this is about the King of Swords in past readings has represented Chris Proudfoot. However, it was in reverse because that's the shadow version of this card. So upright, the King of Swords means high standards and discipline and authority. It also means the truth as well. It also means a very strict person, a very serious person, and he operates from his mind and not his heart. So logic, discipline, no room for feelings. This is a type of person that would tell you that your feelings are not important. Suck it up. This is what you get type of energy. So this is indicating to me that Sebastian is saying, like, this is Sebastian. Okay, Sebastian, give me a card to represent yourself. Moving in reverse. He was right there. He did not run away. Moving in reverse is staying in the same place. Okay? This is interesting because I don't normally read these cards in reverse. But I feel called to today. Anyhow. So what Sebastian is saying is, this is me staying in place at home. An offer from Chris, the disciplinary of the house, the authority of the house. So he's painting a picture. Okay. Using the tarot, please explain this card in like one row. So 3 or 4 cards. Oh my gosh. The Page of Pentacles, making an offer. And rejection. So he's rejecting the discipline. You know what? So the Page of Pentacles is also a financial offer. This is making me feel that there was some sort of argument that stemmed from Chris asking Sebastian to do something and him not wanting to do it. I'm feeling like kind of vibes of an allowance, like if you do this, I'll give you some money, in hopes that that would give him a focus or something. But knowing that what they were asking of Sebastian, as in Chris and Katie, was too much. Like, because the Ace of Wands in reversed is distractions, a lack of direction, and passion. So it's almost like I'm feeling like Chris wanted to make a man of him and started putting these demands on him that he knew was asking too much of Sebastian and his struggles. If you know what I mean, you know, being on, having the chromosome disorder and being on the spectrum. He knew he was asking too much of Sebastian. Okay. Continue, Sebastian. More delays and obstacles, yeah. So the Three of Wands in reverse is I rejected right from the beginning that I did, as in Sebastian. I told you that I'm not doing this. I've shown you that I'm not doing this. You keep going for it, as in pressuring me. And then that just created the Three of Wands in reverse situation. Obstacles, frustration, and more delays. Delays as in not Chris not getting what he wanted. Not getting the outcome he wanted. Which was Sebastian to blindly go along with everything he says. And then the King of Wands in reverse. And it's right underneath the King of Swords. Impulsiveness, ruthless, forceful, a tyrant, and a weak leader. When a weak leader doesn't get what he wants, he acts out and loses control. Because he never had control to begin with. Eight of Pentacles. High standards. Very high standards. It's almost like he set up Sebastian for failure every single time just based on his demands. I'm feeling like Sebastian was damned if he did and damned if he didn't. Put these back. Okay, same thing. Pull one of these, pull one of these. Okay, Sebastian, start speaking. Ignited passion. Enthusiasm and something new. Hustling. Staying in place. There's the moving card in reverse again. So that's Sebastian. So this is interesting. Making it rain, focusing on getting money, hustling. And we had that financial offer. Sebastian, was that financial offer you asking if I can do this to have money, or was this something Chris was putting on you? Or did you want to do a job for the money? I'm confused. Please clarify that. Justice. Truth. Isolation. Okay. It was Sebastian. It was Sebastian wanting to do, like, have something to give him independence. He was a teenager, you know, like, that's around the age where you kind of want your own money, right? This makes sense. But what's the problem with this, Sebastian? What was the issue here? Doubting, emotional immaturity, inner child. Okay, so Page of Cups in reverse is representing how Katie and Chris saw him. They saw him as immature. They saw him as not having the emotional maturity to be able to have a job. And that's kind of what I was picking on a few minutes ago when I was kind of not interpreting the cards exactly. When I was saying that they were setting him up for failure every time, I was feeling them not having the faith in him. They wanted to keep him isolated, and I think if they felt truly, they were I feel like they were using it as an excuse. Oh, you're too immature, because they did not want him having any sort of financial freedom. Because then that lessens their control a little bit. Confirm or deny what I just said, Sebastian. High Priestess. Confirmation. Sacred knowledge, higher power, inner voice, intuition. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So now that I have that cleared up, let's keep letting Sebastian speak. Okay, so based on what Sebastian just clarified for us, that he wanted some emotional or financial freedom, he wanted something to focus on and have a little job. What do you want to say about that? Knight of Cups. It's like a negotiator, mediator type. Bad karma. Sebastian, is this representing a person that you found charming, but is associated with bad karma? Setbacks. Okay, what else? What else? So the Six of Cups is childhood memories. Seven of Pentacles in reverse is also like a lack of long-term vision. Okay. Bad reputation. Bad karma, bad reputation. Charming face. So, what he's saying here is that since he could remember, since he was a child, this person with a bad reputation, which I think we all know who that is. 5 is very significant in this person's life. Let's just say that. The bad karma is representing that it's not just him being bad in this life, but it going back further. Allegedly, my opinion. Okay, so he wants to talk about that. Keep going, darling. What else do you want to say? Hierophant in reverse. This is challenging beliefs in authority and conflict. Disagreements, tension, and rivalry. Clash of egos. Keep going. Okay. Vigilancy. This is always looking over your shoulder. Not feeling safe in your surroundings. 3 of Swords. Heartache, grief, depression, trauma, specifically trauma. 9 of Wands in reverse. This is being overwhelmed and giving up from exhaustion. And then at the end of that whole row, we have the sun. The sun, which is representing pure positivity and optimism, sunshine, a positive outcome, and vitality, specifically vitality. And I think what Sebastian's saying with this row is that he's the light. The sun was the light of that house. He was the light of that house. And that made him the target. Okay, let's pull some of these. Okay. Thief. Robbed, lost, physical, or emotional. And we've got fishing for comments in reverse. So it's like, this is picking up on the energy now of, in my opinion, Chris, because this is identifying like I stole somebody. Literally, I stole somebody's life. Allegedly, my opinion. And fishing for comments in reverse is like, it's like he's sniffing out where people's allegiances lie. Purposefully dropping certain comments to locals, in small talk, whatever, maybe even in interviews, to see, are they on to me yet? There it is, right in front of my face. Okay. Okay, I'm going to specifically ask what Sebastian wants to say about the last day that he was at home. Bell for confirmation. Okay. Okay, Sebastian, show me your entire last day at home. Did it flip over? No. Show me your last day at home from start to finish. The Emperor. Again, another card that has been representing Chris throughout these readings. If you haven't seen any of the previous readings, I suggest checking them out so you can see for yourself. However, most of the times it's in reverse. Okay. Page of Wands. Two of Wands. I'm going to do 5 cards for each row. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Let's just move these until I'm ready for them. This too. Just want to make sure that you guys can see everything. Okay. And then let's move this up. Okay, second row. Keep going. Three of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Seven of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords. Yeah. And then the Fool in reverse. Okay, we'll start with these two. I don't have room for more. Okay. So the Emperor is the father figure. This is literally representing Chris. And then we have the Six of Swords, which is moving to calmer waters. I think this is depicting Chris going to work. Okay, he goes to work, and then the fear levels go down because the Page of Wands upright is fearlessness, as well as a sense of adventure and a young spirit, as well as limitless potential and fresh ideas. So to me, this is saying that Sebastian's feeling like, okay, the jerk is gone. I have freedom to be myself right now. And he's getting all of these ideas on what he's going to do with Chris not being there. Allegedly, my opinion. So, Two of Wands. He's getting the fresh idea with the Page of Wands. Two of Wands, he is now putting his fresh ideas into planning. And what's interesting is on this card it says, should I stay? Right here. Should I stay or should I go? And in my other readings, we picked up on him being isolated, specifically when Chris goes to work. And that day he broke out of his isolation. So the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is about a risky investment. This is pertaining to the isolation tactic, which was a risky thing to invest your energy and time into, because what if he gets out? Actually, and this is also pertaining to Sebastian's risky investment, like, I'm going to deliberately break the rules on purpose, which was risky on his part because of the consequences. And we're talking about those right now. Okay. So, Three of Pentacles is specifically referring to teamwork of some kind, pooling of energy, shared goals, and it's right underneath the Emperor. So, and what's interesting is got a picture of two women with long red hair, and Katie's got red hair. I think she's got red. She looks like a Ginge to me. So, pooled energy, shared goals, Chris, Katie. emotional pain and trauma, and exhaustion, giving up from exhaustion, defeat. And it's directly underneath the Page of Wands, and that was representing Sebastian. When a card is underneath the top row like this, the card directly beneath it has an underlying reason or has direct connection to the card above it. So then the Knight of Swords, which is fast thinking, because at this point, in my opinion, he got out. Because it's right underneath the Two of Wands, which was his plan. He had the fresh ideas here. He goes to put these fresh ideas into plan. And fast thinking, there's a woman on the horse, so Katie, being the only woman there, fast thinking. I need to get this control. I need to get the control back. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. A risky investment. Being unprepared. Naivety. As in, he was naive thinking that he could get away unscathed, really. Okay, he wants to use some whispers. Okay. False in reverse. So, false in reverse, which is true, propaganda, fake news, about him taking off, running away. Because the secret trip in reverse would be something that's not secret, and the trip never happened. He never ran away. And he keeps bringing that up. Move the card, moving but in reverse. I'm right here. I never left, so to speak. Like, I never ran away. Okay. Rival competition. Clash of egos. I don't think it's in these rows, but we got that at the beginning of the reading. Top secret. So the rivalry between the two, they don't want the public to know that. Sad, emotional in reverse. Why is it in reverse? Oh, so the opposite of emotional, like as in sad, would be anger and rage. Makes sense. Self-sabotage. Wanted to make it look like it was his fault, as in Sebastian's, and caught in reverse. Oh, as in Chris is self-sabotaging. Okay. all alleged and my opinion based on the cards. Entertainment purposes only. All that kind of stuff. I understand that, yeah, this could piss some people off, but we don't always hear stuff we like to hear, right? We're all entitled to our own opinions, and we all have the right to voice our opinions, whether people like them or not. So, okay, sweetie, what more do you want to say? Moving on, self-forgiveness. Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is like like a favor, but with strings attached. I'm going to help you, but there's an ulterior motive. Three of Wands, upright. Growth and foresight. Oh, Judgment. Upright. Hermit in reverse. Isolation. So, the Five of Cups in reverse is moving on and accepting things and finding peace. Overcoming grief and negativity. That's Sebastian. That is where he is at, energetically speaking. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. He's at peace, but there's still a debt to be paid. The karmic debt. Not Sebastian paying it, but the people involved, culpable to what happened to him, pay for it. And the next card beside that is the Three of Wands, which is progress, expansion, and new horizons, as well as growth and foresight. So, he said that, in my head, he's saying that there will be a reckoning, a balancing of the energy of what happened. And then right beside that, we have Judgment, which means a reckoning. But it also means a wake-up call. And that is what, there's some sort of wake-up call that Chris and Katie allegedly will face. The Hermit in reverse, this is repeating past mistakes. So I don't know if that's referring just to the lying part, like they're going to lie to cover up another lie, and then something's going to out them like that. Is that fair to say? Give me a clear indication if I'm on the right track. Oh no, retracting an offer. Retracting of an offer. Being stressed about finances. And then here's the Six of Wands, as public recognition. Like being put in the spotlight about something. Repeating past mistakes. Having a lost opportunity and stressing about finances. And everybody seeing it happen. That's weird. But what he's essentially saying is he is no longer stuck because of what happened to him. He's accepted it and he's healing from it and he's able to move on. But the people left behind have yet to have their reckoning, but is absolutely coming. Okay, what else do you want to say? Here is the King of Swords in reverse, in the flesh. So, problems ahead with the Eight of Wands in reverse. Problems ahead for him. Breakup. Oh my God, a breakup. Allegedly, my opinion, King of Swords in reverse is representing Chris. Obstacles to overcome. What are those obstacles? A freaking breakup. Bad communication and distrust. The Magician, a manifestation, turning visions into reality. Having all the tools at your disposal. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is a marriage and family. So a breakup, that was a vision turning into reality of what? The marriage. Like, it's interesting this card's not in reverse, but I believe that is the reason because this card has already kind of painted the picture of what is going to happen to the marriage. Okay, you heard it here first. I don't normally divine the future because it can change at a drop of a dime, and this can too. However, this is out of Sebastian's energy. I wonder if this breakup, alleged future possibility of breaking up, could be the thing that puts them against each other, and then truth can start to come out that way. Okay, Sebastian, keep going. What do you have to say to what I just said? Is this breakup, alleged possible future breakup, going to be the catalyst for the truth coming out? Page of Cups, that's Sebastian. Avoiding conflict. Knight of Cups in reverse. The Sun in reverse. Knight of Wands. Feeling unfulfilled, a missed opportunity. Sebastian, this card is representing Sebastian. The Page of Cups upright is about innocence and the inner child, and in this case, it's representing Sebastian. Avoiding conflict. Blocked happiness with the sun in reverse. This is representing someone with a hot temper. And then the Four of Cups is a missed opportunity. This is like, I'm not happy, but I avoid conflict because I don't want to deal with it. My happiness is blocked all the time. I get this burst of courage because my temper is high. And I get this impulse to, break up with him or stand up for myself, what have you. But then with the Four of Cups, that was a missed opportunity. I didn't act on that impulse. Because of self-limiting beliefs and tantrums, as in Chris's tantrums. So this is talking about Katie's point of view. And that to me is saying that this has been coming for a long time. Her trying to break up with him and then not. So it may seem out of the blue when or if they do break up. But what this is saying is it's been coming for a very long time. And I absolutely feel, from what I've seen of her demeanor, how she is with Chris when they're doing interviews together, and from the feelings I've gotten from the readings I've done, I absolutely would bet on her being extremely emotionally abused at the very least. This is not a confident woman I'm seeing. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens. But something's got to give, and I think that at this point, short of them turning on each other or admitting what happened, I don't think anything is going to break the case. It's all up to them. The future of that case lies with them. They started it, they can finish it. Interesting. The Seven of Wands is not flipped over. Standing your ground. Protecting territory. Defending your position. I wonder if that is what is going to happen with in terms of Katie and where she stands with her husband. I want them to turn on each other because I want the whole world to know the truth. Thing is in a situation like that, she'll probably get a deal. The limiting beliefs, a victim mentality. Yeah, she is a freaking victim. I mean, of Chris. She made her own decisions as far as Sebastian and letting Chris control her. There's I'm not saying that her abuse is any excuse for allowing somebody to treat your child that way at all. But this is just confirming what I'm saying. My feelings about her. Okay. Sebastian, can you give us some missing variables, please, regarding what happened? The fatal decision. One wrong move with devastating consequences. And this, I'm almost 100% sure that I've gotten this card in other readings. And it is so true. One wrong move with devastating consequences. That is what I believe happened to that is what I believe happened to that poor child. Okay. Okay, Sebastian, what passage on the card applies? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Revelations with devastating consequences. Tell me what that revelation was. What was the revelation? A long-term investment. What was that one wrong move? And heartache, emotional pain, depression. But what was the revelation? What was the revelation that had devastating consequences? Judgment. Surrendering to something. What was the revelation? King of Wands in reverse. A ruthless tyrant. A revelation with devastating consequences. Okay. So in my opinion, I believe that Sebastian was isolated, and they did this when Chris would go away for work. And I feel that Sebastian broke out of the enclosure he was in. So the hard work that Chris and Katie had put into isolating him was lost. Okay, this is representing two things. This is representing the trauma that was inflicted on Sebastian, and this is also referring to the loss that Chris and Katie felt when he got away. And here is the Judgment card, which is Chris judging Sebastian for breaking out. And this is about final decisions. This is about judging him harshly. Judging him very harshly. And then the Hangman. This is about self-sacrifice. And surrendering. It's making me feel like he stopped fighting back. Because of the force of the King of Wands in reverse. Can you confirm this with some what's the tea, Sebastian? Wolves in sheep's clothing. Oh my God, that just gave me chills. Dodging bullets in reverse. He couldn't dodge Chris's blows anymore. Karmic friends. Yeah. Can't fully trust them. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and we got the bad karma. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is a karmic thing. I wouldn't be surprised if I did a past life reading with Sebastian and Chris that they have had other lifetimes together. Absolutely. I don't know if anybody wants to see that. Let me know in the comments. I can absolutely do that. I think it would be very interesting. But let me know. No changes. Limited. Stuck. Nothing won. Jackpot in reverse. There was no winners in this. There was no winners in this. Because they're going to get theirs. There is absolutely going to be a reckoning and a balancing of things, and just in the situations of us not seeing earthly justice, don't ever think that that means they're not getting any form of justice. Oh, the justice happens. Absolutely, and it's going to be more impactful than any sentence a jury and a judge can put forth. I truly feel that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, Sebastian. I'm gonna pull the Sacred Woundings 2 Archetypes deck, and I want you to pick out some cards that can give us some insight into how you were treated, how it was affecting you in your life. Okay, we've got the wound of the singing scar. The wound of the clinging heart. The wound of the distant witness. One more, he says. And the abandoned inner child. We have gotten the inner child card. Multiple cards that mean the inner child throughout this entire reading. Overwork mistaken for worth. Interesting. Okay. And I'm going to pull one of these cards for each. So 5. Okay, Sebastian, pull a card for the singing scar. Needing to heal from narcissistic abuse. Needing to address the fear of failure. Needing to heal from karmic blockages. There's the karma connection coming through again. That's confirmation that, yeah, they were karmically tied. Give me a card for the abandoned inner child. Blockage of the throat chakra. Okay, and last one, the glorified burnout. Gap between your success and your fulfillment. That's interesting too. It really fits. All right. So I'm going to read The Wound of the Singing Scar. Beauty formed through repeated breaking. This wound forms when your strength and wisdom come not from ease, but from surviving what shattered you. You've turned pain into insight, but the cost still lingers. It can leave you proud of your resilience, yet quietly grieving all you had to endure to become who you were. Needing to heal from narcissistic abuse. Again, these two cards are connected. Will show up as cycles of manipulation, control, and devaluation, leading to self-doubt, confusion, and diminished self-worth. It often stems from the abuser's deep insecurity and need for power, creating a dynamic that blocks genuine love, trust, and mutual respect. Abuser. That is a repeated pattern throughout this whole series. Abuse. The wound of the clinging heart. Terrified of emotional departure, this wound arises when love feels fleeting, and loss feels inevitable. You grip tightly to connection, fearing it will disappear without warning. It can leave you anxious in relationships, overwhelmed by abandonment fear, and unsure how to feel safe without constant reassurance. And this card goes with it. Needing to address the fear of failure. This will show up as perfectionism, paralysis by analysis, paralysis by analysis, or an overwhelming anxiety about making mistakes or not meeting expectations. This makes sense, especially when you live with somebody who's on a power trip all day, and you need to do everything to their specifications. It may manifest as avoiding new opportunities, procrastination, or a constant sense of inadequacy, often rooted in the deep fear of judgment, rejection, or the belief that failure defines your worth. The wound of the distant witness. Watching life instead of living it. This wound arises when disconnection becomes a form of protection. Whether through trauma, overwhelm, or self-doubt, you learn to observe rather than engage. It can leave you feeling detached, emotionally numb, or haunted by the sense that life is passing you by while you remain on the edges. Needing to heal karmic blockages. This will show up as repeating patterns of struggle, conflict, or unhealed emotional wounds that seem to follow you from one lifetime to the next. They may manifest as reoccurring challenges in relationships, career, or personal growth where it feels like you are caught in that cycle you cannot break. So this is also giving an insight to how Sebastian was feeling. I cannot escape my reality. I'm destined to live this out over and over and over again. Okay, next one. The wound of the abandoned inner child, I should say. Left behind in your own story, this wound forms when the most tender parts of you are neglected, dismissed, or silenced. By others or by yourself, you've learned to survive by pushing those pieces away. It can leave you feeling empty, disconnected, or yearning that the safety and love you have never received. Blockage of the throat chakra will show up as difficulty expressing yourself, speaking your truth, or feeling heard. So he was never heard. He felt like he was invisible and just destined to suffer. It may manifest as fear of judgment, trouble communicating, or holding back your authentic voice. And yes, perhaps being on the spectrum absolutely can affect that. But all that aside, it's the feelings that, it was his feelings of just feeling not important. The glorified burnout. Overwork mistaken for worth. This wound arises when doing becomes your identity and exhaustion is worn like a badge of honor. You learn that rest is weakness and productivity earns love. That is mainly, I feel, what this is. This card is significant. Oh, I can't talk today. This is what the card is trying to focus on, is that he was only shown some sort of love when he performed in a certain way. Other than that, he felt like, I'm feeling from his feelings that he was too much and he was a burden. And if I don't contribute, then I'm not worthy of being loved. And he was resentful and he felt depleted because he was unsure who he was without constant overperformance. He couldn't just be Sebastian and that be enough. And the gap between your success and fulfillment, this is talking about... Now, I feel he was a little young to have this fully engaged, but what he was accomplishing that was giving him love was not fulfilling to him. He was just, again, performing for these authority figures out of fear, not because he wanted them to be proud of him. It was out of fear. Okay. And last but not least, Sebastian, can you help us find where you are using the Places Oracle? We desperately want you to be found. Please show us. We want you to be found. Please show us. Bench. A creative showcase. So don't focus on art exhibition. A creative showcase. Okay. Did that come up too? Yeah, okay. It was right here on the top of the deck, so I'm using it. Grassland, an open expanse. Neon lights. The birthplace of dreams, the pursuit of goals, belief in possibilities. Okay. How I'm reading this is there's some sort of bench or seating comfort close to where he is. There is some sort of creative showcase that you can see when you're sitting on that seating comfort bench. I don't know if it's a literal bench, but when you're there, there's an open expanse, but there's some sort of creative showcase that you can see that has neon lights. So I immediately thought of billboard. And the birthplace of dreams. Let's get some tokens. Okay. Help confirm the significance on the birthplace of dreams. There's a home. That's interesting. There's a gingerbread man. And there's a martini. $23 is the home. Relating to home life. Okay. Stability. It can also mean a current residence or a new residence. Well, he's saying the birthplace of dreams, I'm pretty sure, is his home. Well, let's get the other meaning. 65 is the gingerbread man. Childlike, innocent, and sweet. Focus on children. Oh my God. We also have gotten many tarot cards that mean innocence and child. Okay. 14. The martini glass. Euphoric, mixed or blended. Mixed or blended. Any more physical, visual landmarks? A windswept region. Dancing leaves. What's interesting, there's a lot of leaves on this picture with the bench. Give us some more clues, Sebastian. Okay, a lighthouse. Okay, either a guiding light or a symbol of hope, but it's a bridge. Between windswept region and what? Street. But this is in reverse. So, an urban landscape, pedestrian traffic, sidewalks / crosswalks, but in reverse. So not that. Like maybe a road that's not busy, that's more rural. Okay. Help us add more context to this card, Sebastian, just so we can have a clearer idea if it's in the country, like why is this card in reverse? Sun and D4. High caliber person or a social status. Okay. And then 99 is the mouth. Speak your truth. Oh my God. That's literally what it says. It says speak your truth. Where? Oh, it was the mouth. Sorry, I'm looking for the grape. Speak your truth. So there's an open expanse. This is saying a breezy expanse. So this is the same place. It's windy. We also got dancing leaves. Where did we get that? Was that the token? I think it was the house token that said that. Dancing leaves. No. Where? Oh, it's on this card. Duh, right in front of me. So, there's a place to sit. There's some sort of outdoor artistic signage, or there's some sort of artistic thing beside a sign with neon lights. And a bench so you can see this open expanse. And between this open expanse there's some sort of symbol of hope or something of significance between this open, grassy, windy expanse with the bench and somebody's house that is a high caliber person. Somebody that is respected in the community, has money, that kind of thing. So in between those two places, there's a symbol of hope. What is that symbol of hope? What is that symbol of hope that's in the middle? $132. We've got the black cat, and it means mystery and magic. And it also means good or bad luck. And also can mean superstition and anarchy. Next is 138. It's an empty road. Feeling lost, desolation, and alone. Oh my God. That's representing Sebastian being by himself and alone. And it's an empty road. So this is another clue about his location. A desolate road, a road that is not frequently traveled, which would make sense. You wouldn't want to hide somebody's body on a busy road. You just wouldn't want to do that. $73. It's the dove. A bird with flower. Hope. And this card is a symbol of hope. So there is something of significance between this bench, grassy, open expanse with leaves, and it's windy. Between that and somebody's house that is of a high caliber person, in the middle is this. Let's get some tarot just to clarify. Okay, Sebastian. Clarify or deny what I just said. Oh my God, 1111. Homecoming. Belonging. Celebration. I think that's confirmation. I feel like it is. Can you Say more about this, Sebastian. The Tower in reverse, and it literally came out in reverse. It first came out upright, and it spinned itself around, and unfortunately, my camera... There we go. That's better. Negligence, the Tower in reverse. They were negligent about something. I don't think they realize that there's something there that could get them caught. Is that what you're saying? Recovery. 5 of Cups in reverse. Hope returns. There's the word hope again. In that token, on that card, and right here. Finding peace. Returning to trouble. As in, what they find is going to take this person that was confident and then the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which is stressing about finances, a mischance. As in a mischance, you can't explain yourself now. You missed catching that little piece of evidence coming to bite you in the ass. Allegedly, my opinion. So, okay. All right, Sebastian, any last places you want to say before I wrap this up? A medical center. What about a medical center? A musical connection. Okay. 25 is a teapot. Confiding with a loved one. Okay. 15 is a devil. A lower nature. So, okay. What this is telling me, well, Sebastian is saying that actually, before I say that, I'm going to pull some tarot. I just want to confirm. This is what I'm feeling with this. This is representing CP, Chris. Allegedly, my opinion. This is making me feel that there was a loved one of Chris who was very sick in the hospital, either on their deathbed or very close to it, and he confided in the truth to them. Is that correct, Sebastian? Ten of Swords in reverse. Lessons learned. Recovery. Painful swords falling out of your back kind of thing. Okay, one more card to see if that's confirmed. Is that, am I on the right track? Did Chris admit what he did to somebody dying? Yeah, repeating past mistakes. This card is, they were alone, isolation. The person was stuck there, didn't have any control on leaving, or I bet you the person wasn't even coherent. Yeah, antisocial. I don't believe the person was coherent when he said this. Did anybody hear him? No. No. Okay. So, Sebastian, why did you want to tell us that? Why is it important that we know that Chris allegedly confessed to somebody on their deathbed? There's that confidence again. So, these are the same cards that came out when we were talking about earlier in the reading, when we were talking about the breakup, the potential future breakup, and then Chris and Katie turning on each other. I feel that Katie also knows, or maybe she's one who did that deathbed confession. But I think that is the excuse she's going to use when they ask her, how do you know this if you didn't take part? Right? How do you have this knowledge without being guilty yourself? Which, believe me, I feel she is very guilty, just as guilty. However, the law sees it differently if you are the one that physically did the crime or not, right? You're still going to get punished, but not to the level as if like the other person would. Anyhow, I think that that's what she's going to say is, I was trapped, I was scared of him, yeah, because we've got moody and turmoil. Moody, turmoil, and avoiding conflict. I didn't want him to get angry at me. And this card, the Queen of Wands, is very self-assured. She's determined not to go down for this, and she doesn't care who she has to put under the bus to do that. But I think that is what she's going to use, and I wouldn't even be surprised if she secretly recorded it, if she was in the same room. So she has proof for one day if she needs it. Allegedly, my opinion. Okay. Sorry guys, this is a long one. Last but not least, Afterlife Outbox. Sebastian, what do you want to tell the world? And I'm going to mix it with the missing variables. What do you want to tell the world about your life? What happened to you? Whatever you want to talk about. What do you want to say? This is your chance to speak up. You pull one of these. Okay. And one of these. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, two of them. Okay. Just make some room. Sorry about this. Just want to make some room for everybody. We can see properly. Okay. The legacy I leave behind is 3. Woven into lessons I was taught while I was here. We live on through the love and the lessons we leave behind. What passage do you want to read first from the missing variables? 4. Ambitious rookie shows promise but lacks the experience to navigate dark conspiracies. So what this is saying is he had a lot of ambition to get out of his situation. And as a teenager, he was doing that with kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit. I feel like he felt that, you know, he was being treated unfairly, which I believe he was. And he was acting out. He was a human being. He had hormones raging through his body. He didn't have the freedom he wanted. And so he acted out. And that's where the lack of experience of life, because he was just a kid, came in. And not realizing that the person you're dealing with is not just a strict father figure, but this person is dark. You know? And he just didn't realize the potential, what this person had the potential of doing. I think that's like what he's saying, you know? Especially with the lessons, talking about the lessons. Woven into the lessons I taught while I was here. The lessons he was taught while he was here is you obey or you get it. And that's what he learned. He learned that the hard way. 2. The decision you're struggling with is 3. Has already been answered in the signs around you. And I think that is pertaining to what happened to him. He's saying, look, the signs are around everybody. I did not run away. I did not run away. look to the past, the patterns that Chris has shown, how he deals with stress and other people. But ultimately, he's moving on stronger than ever. On one side of the card is Forever Young by Bob Dylan, as in, you know, I'm gonna forever be that ambitious, loving teenager. And the next one is Heaven was needing a hero. He's absolutely happy and content where he is. And he's moving on just fine. That makes me happy. Okay, guys, that's it for this one. This was a long one. I appreciate if you guys are still here watching. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button if you're liking the content and you want to see more of it. I'll be doing a Wednesday night subscriber live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are a subscriber and you're wanting some more content, consider becoming a member. Just simply hit the join button. I also will link a video where I go through all of the tiers and what I offer in them and how much they are. So, until the next video, I wish you all of the best, and I'll see you real soon.